All right. Next topic today. I want to talk about the best rep range for hypertrophy. And I got news for you. There isn't actually one range, okay? But let's talk about the typical rep ranges. Typically, there's a 1 to 5, then there's a 6 to 12, and then there's like 13 and beyond, or particularly 13 to 20 if you're still talking about weight training and not weight or endurance training. Now, when you're working with a 1 to 5 rep range, and when I say that, I mean like at 5, you're failing. When I say 6 to 12, I mean at any of those reps, you're failing, so you're hitting failure. But at 1 to 5, it's a more neural recruitment of the myofilaments, and you're more under a load stress, okay? With 6 to 12 rep range, there's mechanical micro tears that happen. The myofilaments are under less load stress, but more time under tension. Now, with the higher rep ranges, 13 to 20, there's more of something called capillarization or blood flow. This also has lactic acid principle of hypertrophy. And what this does is it expands the fascial envelope of that muscle. So the muscle is wrapped in something that sort of looks like saran wrap that we call fascia. But when you do this type of training, you expand the fascia, you expand the muscle, so that muscle growth is not restricted. So those proteins that are trying to build are not restricted, okay? As well as it does something called mitochondrial biogenesis. Now, mitochondria they do lots of things. They're known as the energy centers of the cells, but they actually do a whole bunch of other things. They produce hormones and all sorts of things, right? So, but here's the thing. All of those things will cause the muscle to grow bigger. They will all cause hypertrophy. It's just the typical 6 to 12 rep range is sort of the one that's in the middle that sort of does all three a little bit. But if you're not training heavy and you're not training light, you're not going to get the optimum amount of the other types of hypertrophy. So that's why I suggest you use all rep ranges sort of exclusively, whether it's in a single workout, so like a single workout, you're doing 1 to 5, or a program, right? Maybe you'll do a heavy program for a month. So you'll work with 1 to 5 reps, and then you'll do like a program of 6 to 12 reps, and then a program of 13 to 20. Or you can do them all three in one workout, which I like to do sometimes. So I'll do my heavy compound lifts first, anywhere from 1 to 5. Then I'll do some accessory work, that's 6 to 12, and then I'll finish with a couple of sets of high rep stuff, right? But the studies show that there's actually major hypertrophy benefits in all of those rep ranges. So don't just stick with the classic and sort of dogmatic where it's 6 to 12 reps, or 8 to 12 is another common one. Use all three. And if you go to a website called Stronger by Science, there's a guy named Greg Nuckols, super smart. He did a great meta-analysis of all of these hypertrophy studies, which is like an analysis of all of these analyses. And he clearly shows in his analysis that there's huge hypertrophy benefits to all of these rep ranges. So if you're looking to get jacked, don't just be stuck in, back in the 90s where it was like 8 to 12 reps or 6 to 12 reps, and that's the best rep range. Okay, it's just sort of the mid-range where it does all three, the neural stress, the mechanical stress on the proteins, and the blood flow all in one. But by using them exclusively, you're going to get a lot more out of each type of, or each method of hypertrophy. Okay. And it's why I say like CrossFit athletes are so jacked, and they really are. I mean, drugs aside or whatever, but they use all types of training. They use heavy, moderate, and high rep training, right? And just look at them. They're incredibly jacked, right? Thanks so much for watching, guys, and if you found the content useful and you really think it's going to make a better version of yourself and stronger version of yourself, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and hit that bell icon as well. And lastly, please leave a comment, as I'd like to know your opinion on this topic and what else you'd like to hear about. So thanks again, guys, and stay strong.